Hello, everybody. Hello, my tribe of pickles. How are you? My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food. Listen, if we're not willing to settle for junk living, we certainly shouldn't settle for junk food. Do you live a junky life? Do you? So does it just fall into play that you're going to eat junk food to go along with a junky lifestyle? How's that working for you? Maybe it's not working for you. Maybe until I said it that way, you never thought that it wasn't working for you. How about making it work for you? How about making some changes all around in your lifestyle, in your pantry, in your fridge, on your plate, and in your belly? Little changes can reap you big benefits, you know. It's not as hard as you think to make a few little changes. I couldn't see you out there. There. Oh, that's much better. Oh, be careful when you ask for clarity. It could come to you. Anyway, junk living. Does anybody that you know come to mind? I know that you certainly aren't one of them. But think about people that live junky lives. When I think of junky lives, I think of people that are unconscious and that pay absolutely no attention whatsoever to what they're eating. They just, I don't know. I mean, they aren't driven by their hunger. I don't know who they are, but they aren't in my tribe. But they just really pay no attention whatsoever to what they're eating, how they're eating it. Are they standing? Do they sit down? Do they use a napkin? Do they use a plate? Do they use a paper plate? Do they use paper napkins? What is up with that? Come on. Use a real plate. Use a real napkin. Come on. Add a little elegance to your life. Does it really increase your day? Having to wash that plate or wash that napkin? I don't think so. So I think of people that are just going through life unconscious with their choices of food. I'm working with somebody, or I work where I see somebody, and she's making this huge change, she and her boyfriend. And so they spent a lot of time in that section in Stop and Shop. Probably you have the same thing in Giant. You've seen them. You know, they're the ones where the natural foods are, the organic foods are, the blah, blah, blah are. And she got a couple of packets of this mixture for, it's made with flax seeds and things like that for a smoothie. You just, you add your liquid and your berries. And then she got some hemp seeds to add to it. Anyway, she got a number of things, and she's bound and determined. And I asked her, what is her, caving sort of item? Is it sweet? And I pointed to a cake with some frosting on it. Or she said, oh no, it's Doritos. It's Doritos. She said, I have really no desire for sweets except to eat them if they're here. And of course they are here because that place gets a lot of donations of sweets. Garbage. And you know what that looks like. And she said, no, it's always been the Doritos type thing. So I wish her the best. And, it's hard to make the changes. It's hard to trust that eating healthy fats are good for you, that it's not fat that makes you fat, the healthy fats. It's not the healthy fats that make you fat. It's the flours, even whole wheat. The difference between white flour and whole wheat flour is a Camel cigarette and a Marlboro cigarette. It's still not good for you, okay? Some people can eat it in safety. Maybe it's an age thing. I'm working with one woman who's actually a good friend, and I said, when it all comes down to what you can and can't eat after menopause, I bet a lot of it is related to sugar and grains. And, I know some people have the steel-cut oats still, and I don't think that that's a problem. I know that I have my baked potato. On Saturday, I bake it, then I chill it, then I reheat it, and, you know, because I heard it knocks half the carbs out and it becomes a resistant starch. I like that. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but that's how I do it now. It's not really like a rare and appropriate treat. It's a once a week treat. A rare and appropriate treat would be that gelato that I had once 6 months ago, and then once most recently. You know, that's like twice in a year. That's rare and appropriate. How do I like my steak? Rare and appropriate. So, anyway, living a junk life is just, you know, I can just see the life. You know, it's the bed that's not made. It's the kitchen that has, like, just, like, crazy sort of stuff. Maybe a couple of brown bananas sitting there with some fruit flies. Who knows? It's not somebody properly taking care of themselves. Isn't self-care about not eating junk food and not living a junk life as well? You know, think of your car. Is your car, would somebody look at your car and say, that's a person that has a junk living lifestyle? You know, we don't want to do that anymore. That spills over into our food. I had this roommate once, and we're talking 40 years ago, and she was hot, and she looked great. And of course, I was always the overweight, funny one that, you know, through the parties, that was the one that would go out with them, and they'd get the good guy, right? And so I always was fascinated by a beautiful woman and how they got to that place of that carefree, sexy, bon vivant life. A look, and so she would pull it together, and she was gorgeous, and she had this natural beauty. I don't even know if she wore makeup. She had eyelashes that like hit her eyeglass frame. She was so beautiful. And so I would look at what her room and bathroom looked like, with the end product being her looking gorgeous as we would step out into the nightlife. Ah, the 20s, right? So, you know, there were like hairs all over the sink, probably all over the floor. There were wet towels everywhere thrown on, you know, beautiful wood furniture. There was an unmade bed. There was a pile of clothes. You couldn't tell if it was dirty stuff to be washed or clean that didn't get put away. You know, it was my grandmother's bedroom. We were living in my deceased grandmother's house, and she had one of those dressing tables that, you know, you see in the old movies. And, you know, that was just like, you know, filled with these bottles and potions and things like that, like, you know, it wasn't neatly arranged and like the movies. It was like, you know, this is another tabletop to put things that will just get dusty, right? So she definitely lived a junk life. You know, it was the sort of thing where her kid had to crawl to fit in the back seat. This is almost pre-car seat time. To like be strapped in if there was such a thing as a seat belt, maybe just finding him a seat. Maybe he rode in the front seat, who knew? Back then, we weren't doing any of the things that would be breaking the law today. Her life was junk, and I remember I was so jealous of her. She would eat, I guess this is just a tale of a video. She would eat, no lie, 6 pieces of pumpernickel toast with butter out the door on her way to work. She was, well, we were 21, 22. She had no belly. She was skinny. She was gorgeous. And she could eat 6 pieces of pumpernickel toast on the fly with butter. Yeah, I was jelly. Yeah, I was into Captain Crunch then. Remember the old habits. Jeez. So anyway, this is Much Ado About Nothing for sure. It's about when we lived junk lifestyles to go with our taste for junk food. How far a lot of us have come, and how far a lot of us will continue to go, because it is limitless how we can upgrade our lives, our home life, our office life, our car, our work bags, and what we put on the plate that we eat. We can make tremendous, tremendous small changes that a month from now you could look back and say, did I really do that? What was I thinking when I did that? What? Who did I think I was being able to eat that kind of stuff? Why was I so adamant and arrogant about this non-negotiable food item that has kept me from cleaning up my choices? It's going to be like a V8. Whoa! Where did this come from? So, my little pickles, you have a wonderful day. I need to move on. It took me extra long to make my salad today. My avocado was hard, even though it looked like it could be in a picture of Epicure magazine. But alas, it wasn't soft. So I've got it in a paper bag now, even though I've already opened it. I don't know what the outcome will be, but talk about a bummer. But fortunately, I'm going to the store today, and I will be able to replenish my avocado supply. You people have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll be thinking of you. I had technical difficulties yesterday, and it took a while for my flawed strategy to upload, and I don't even think it made it to the Facebook page. So I'm still busy. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for listening. This has been Sarah. Mind your food. Mind the back of your car. Mind your work bag. See you later. Bye-bye for now.